You're Such a Weirdo by S. M. Garrett. Danny Weirdo Romero slumped inside the forgotten phone box, sheltering from the rain, waiting for the battle to begin. He'd been waiting for weeks, at home, at school, in the shed, and on the bus, and now butt resting in a street furniture hole, poised, was ever ready for the battle to end all battles. Deep down, he knew it wouldn't end any battles, but this week's therapist insisted it was prudent to find a purpose, so he had. Pokemon. Deep down, he knew it wouldn't end any battles, but this week's therapist insisted it was prudent to find a purpose, so he had. Pokemon. Danny is resplendent in his ceremonial battle dress. Grandpa's hand-me-down original green territorial army wool overcoat over custom camouflage overalls in yellow. Size 6 feet covered by size 10 steel-toed German naval boots, laced up tight over his limited edition red Iron Man socks. His lucky Muppets Take Manhattan vintage vinyl backpack with matching sippy cup completed the ensemble. A fine uniform for the weirdo army. Danny knew he was a weirdo. He'd been told many times by his parents, between slaps, his brother, between slaps, his neighbour, Mr. Donkey, something like that, between slaps. Today, Crispin, his best friend for life, proclaimed him too weird to be his friend. He stood up in registration and told everyone. They applauded him. Crispin bowed. Danny drew. The series of original black biro sketches in the back of his maths textbook depicts the death of a friendship. They employ the metaphor of a crow slowly losing its feathers, spiralling to the ground to walk naked in a thorn bush. Spiraling to the ground to walk naked into a thorn bush where it self-crucifies. It was helpful. It was detailed. It stopped Danny killing today. In these situations, Danny explained to his therapist, I'm like a tiny colourful frog which everyone believes is poisonous, dreaming of actually becoming poisonous, because when I do, I'll get kissed, licked, ground up and injected into their privileged veins, where I'll rot their stinky thoughts, ruin their lives and make them shit themselves. He was planning a graphic novel along these lines. Despite the detailed notes his therapist wrote to the contrary, Danny didn't think that was weird, which is an essential part of being weird. Like being cool, nobody who sets out to be weird will succeed. Most become an approximation of weird, a beige amalgam of the ideas of weird, and at best might achieve the dreaded parent-friendly quirky. The WhatsApp group was Crispin's beige idea. Danny didn't want to be in a group chat or any chat, but Crispin added him, and it helped him remember when the battles were on, so he stayed. The WhatsApp group was Crispin's beige idea. Danny didn't want to be in a group chat or any chat, but Crispin added him, and it helped him remember when the battles were on, so he stayed. He never posted. That would be weird. He didn't expect anyone to join him today after the announcement in school, and that suited Danny. It allowed him to focus on the battle without the inane chatter that inevitably came with other people's awfulness. "Do you bring an umbrella?" said Jimmy. Shit. Jimmy was hardcore other people. He was a late addition to the Battle to End All Battles chat, and was a heavy emoji user. Danny's dislike for emojis sat somewhere between other people and other people's emotions. It was a congested top 3 most days. Danny's dislike for emojis sat somewhere between other people and other people's emotions. It was a congested top 3 most days. He took a deep breath and rotated slowly on his heel, like a soldier, perhaps. His phone held in front of his face to mask his disappointment. "No," Danny explained. Jimmy said nothing, expecting further explanation. Danny wasn't about to fall into the trap of starting a conversation, and returned his attention to his phone. The gym would open in a couple of minutes. He needed to focus. "Me mum told me to bring one. She offered me hers, but it had pictures of cats on it, and I'm allergic to cats." Danny, caught off guard by Jimmy's inane confession, accidentally lowered his phone and made eye contact. Shit. Eye to eye they stared whilst the rain peppered them, emphasising the lack of umbrella for both to see. Danny's mind whirled. So many questions. Was that Jimmy's plan? Was he here to mock? Was he trying to engage in a conversation? Was he trying to be weird? Danny knew how to deal with this type of person. He let his eyebrows do the talking. The rain flooded the silence. Jimmy tilted his head, confused. "That was a joke. I'm not allergic to cat pictures. Danny snapped. "I got it! Not funny!" Jimmy shifted uneasily. His hands dug deep into his grey, lightweight rain jacket pockets, distorting and stretching the Gore-Tex. Danny's eyes vibrated atop his grinding teeth. Fuck Gore-Tex, fuck technical clothing, fuck purpose and conformity, fuck parents for pushing their rambling agenda, fuck manufacturers for pushing their blandness. What's wrong with heavy coats? What's wrong with getting wet? What's wrong with fucking weird? Jimmy steps back. Shit, thinks Danny. He's done the whole inner-outer monologue thing again. That always ends with a slap. He takes a step back. Jimmy's arms aren't particularly long, but better to be safe than... Jimmy's face twists. Eyes squint. Hands churn. Is he going to cry? The only thing Danny hates more than other people is other people showing emotions. That top three just got more crowded. He didn't know what to do. His parents, nominated adults and peers, had created the perfect environment for minimum emotional development. He didn't know what to do. His parents, nominated adults and peers, had created the perfect environment for minimal emotional development and maximum avoidance through a carefully curated program of physical abuse, negativity, and old school scorn. Danny was perfectly unprepared for other people's feelings. In panic, he blurts out a pathetic, caring, and decidedly non-weird, "Sorry, don't cry." Jimmy steps back, confused. "I'm not going to cry. Why would I cry?" He's in deep now. He'd asked a direct question. He had nowhere to run. Jimmy takes a step forward. Danny backs up to the bastardized phone box. The gym is about to open. He just wants to win this battle, to end all battles. He just wants to win this battle to end all battles. They stared at each other, holding their phones like pistols at noon. The clock ticked down. The gym was opening in 10 seconds. The rain was getting harder. Danny panicked. He grabbed Jimmy's coat, pulled him towards him and kissed him on the face. He was hoping to get him on the lips, but Jimmy was a squirmer, and he managed to half a lip, but mostly a cheek. Jimmy froze. His face was full of emotions. "You're such a weirdo." Danny smiled to himself. Ooh. Jimmy froze. His face was full of emotions. "You're such a weirdo." Danny smiled to himself. It was the move nobody expected, and it always worked. "And that's why I like you." Jimmy grabs Danny's soggy woolen coat and pulls him tight. Gore-Tex to wool, they embrace. Jimmy guides Danny's surprised mouth to engage gently with his. His hands open Grandpa's coat and wrap tightly around his waist. His hands open Grandpa's coat and wrap tightly around his waist. The heat of Jimmy under his technical garment penetrates Danny's sodden yellow cam overalls. Danny's brain shuts down. His words falter. The italics in his head freeze. And, for the first time in a long time, someone touches him without pain. The gym opens silently in his hand. But the battle to end all battles had already been won. The end.